They say growing your leadership capacity demands personal effectiveness. And being effective is the ability to do all things right at all times, no matter what the cost. Now, the question is, what does it cost you to be effective? We're going to find out on today's episode. Happy New Month, and thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Women Series, where we capture developments and stories that impact women. Today, we're talking about something really, really important, and that's capacity building for women. Throughout January, we talked about investments, and we started off the year talking about affirmations and how to build ourselves and how to help ourselves grow throughout the year. And on that note, we're continuing today on capacity building, and I have a very beautiful guest in the house to have this conversation with me. Don't go anywhere. Let's go on a quick break, and we'll be right back to meet our guest.
Tune in to WebTV Daily to stay up to date and informed on the financial market, personal finance, and more. We have got you covered with all your favorite TV shows, economy and politics, market review, women's series, millennial talk, Islamic Finance Weekly, The Brief, exclusive interviews, events, and we keep you up to date on all the updates in the financial market with the market opening gong. Watch premium content. Watch WebTV. Same news, different perspective.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining me on this episode of the Women Series, where we capture developments and stories that impact women. Today, we are talking about capacity building, and I have a very, very interesting guest today. I know why I said that. And I have with me today Mofolusade Sonaike, the MD CEO of MUMPRENEUR. Hello, Mofolusade. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you for accepting to do this with me
Thank
today.
you. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm very well.
And how was January?
Fine.
The cold, did it affect you?
The cold, the dust, we are still at it.
But anyway, we'll hope that this February comes with a better wind, so to say.
Yeah.
You are very much passionate about capacity building.
Yes.
I found out that when we were talking backstage, and it's quite interesting to see people interested in other people winning. I mean, carrying the tribe along, helping other women to grow. So, because I usually say, when a woman wins, it's like every other woman is winning.
Absolutely.
But a lot of times we miss out the points where we say, you're familiar with this phrase where we say that to win the prize, you must be willing to pay the price, right?
Absolutely.
But in terms of winning that prize, we're very much particular about, we know what the prize is. We know where we are headed. But to get to that point, there's always there's always a stumbling block. There are always different challenges, as we call them. I don't want to call, or excuses as much as we say. Because a lot of times, I don't even want to call them excuses. Maybe excuses in this regard would work. But do you think those things are actually valid? Or in your course of working as a mompreneur, in your course, I mean, what are the things you found out? What are the common excuses women make or give to themselves and say that because of this, that's why I'm not building optimally? Okay,
so I will follow and use your word excuses. But I'm sure that there's some people that will stone you if they hear them. Because like you said, to them, these excuses are actually valid. Right? Because there are a lot of obstacles that women face generally, as opposed to the male gender when they're trying to achieve goals. But also, I believe that these excuses can be crushed. Many of them are not, they're just in your mind, right? So one of the top excuses is, people see their children as an excuse. So I'm raising kids, so that's why I cannot do this, that's why I cannot achieve that, that's why. But I tell you, your children are they're not an excuse. Because people in their minds are always focused on, it's work-life balance, they'll tell a woman you can't have it all. It's either you are successful in your career or you are a fantastic mother, which is a big fat lie, please. You can have it all. But like they always say, you can have it all, but not at the same time. You have to be in that headspace where you're like, I want to achieve this, but right now I need to fix this so that I can achieve that, right? And I always tell people that the phrase to really look at is work-life integration, integrating all of the things that, because whether you're even a mother or not, as women, like I am a first daughter, you know the kind of load that we carry. We take care of the parents, you take care of the younger
Younger
ones,
siblings,
you
you
take
take care of your own family.
take care of your own
then
family.
before you now remember yourself.
You know, I know it's just a lot. It's really a lot. So those excuses actually, they're valid if you think about it, but they can be crushed if you change your mindset and you are determined to say, you know what, I'm a person too. I'm going to fulfill that thing that I want to fulfill. Because I tell people that as a woman, when you thrive, you are giving other people permission to thrive. Those who are looking up to you are like, my God, she can do that. I can do that too. And that's what it is. So you have to break and crush all those excuses to achieve those things so that you can inspire others, your children, other young people looking up to you, inclusive.
I love the fact that you mentioned the mindset, and I think that's like a major word I've heard so far this year. And I think that's one of the reasons I decided to do the affirmation series, where we talked about affirming good things to yourself, saying to yourself, this is what I want to do, this is who I am, nothing is stopping me. As in, just make it like a life creed for yourself. So even if you're not saying, just like you said, like when you repeatedly say certain things to yourself, like within a space of like a number of days, it becomes like a lifestyle.
Yes, absolutely.
You start seeing yourself in that form. So regardless of these excuses, you know that you're ready to eat up the price and meet up with whatever it is you want to do. But then again, the major challenge that women face is finding balance. And I think you've mentioned that. You've talked about that. But with all of this that we have to do, I mean, when we talk about balance, we talk about work-life balance, balancing the family, the home front, and also thinking about yourself even in that space.
Yes.
Now, is that a productive trend for women? And how can we stop that? I mean, so many women have found themselves in that clusters that they just don't know how to break it. And they keep telling themselves that it's the balance. They just don't know how to. So how, first of all, is that a productive trend for a woman? And how can they see themselves above, beyond that balancing life?
I think one of the greatest myths too, I've busted the myth of work-life balance to say it doesn't exist. It's not even,
so there's no work-life integration, not work-life balance.
Work-life integration, right? And then understanding seasons. Understanding that, okay, this is the season I'm in now, because you cannot compare. I mean, I look at my mom now. We're all grown, everybody's married and has left the house. She has so much time on her hands, you know, and she can do whatever she wants to do. You can't compare her to someone who is raising toddlers. You know, so seasons matter, understanding the seasons and just working around that. And so it's very important. And another myth also is they've also made us believe that women are superheroes. Please. We are not superheroes. We are human. You know, this superhero mentality makes you feel, look, just buck her up and face it. You can do it. You can do all things. So you're there trying to be there for everybody, trying to look good, work out, you know, be at the top of your career, be a super mom, be everything, and then you fall apart. Because it's not possible. You are human, right? If you don't take care of yourself, like I say, you can't take care of other people. So this myth of, oh, women are multitasking, women can do you know when you multitask, you are not as productive as you should be?
So what would you advise for them to do?
Segment. Put your life in departments. So at this time, this is the focus. Learn to prioritize. At this time, this is the focus and you're all in. So when you're at work, you're at work. You're all in. When you're at home with your kids or whatever it is, whatever other thing you're doing, you are all in. When you are hanging out with friends, you are all in. Like live, experience life in its fullness.
So let's use yourself as an example
now.
Can you explain like your practical day, your 24 hours? So let's understand what it means. So people understand what it means to segment.
Okay, so I actually just, because I'm doing something this year with some women, and I actually just started working with a routine, like a timetable. So I wake up in the morning, I just started meditation, because I realized that when you take time out to unplug, to just clear your head and be still, it gives you clarity. You can see, affirmations are thinking of your day, setting your intentions for the day. It helps you set the tone for the day. So you're not spending your time running around like a headless chicken. So I always take my time out to do that. Before the boys wake up, I do that. That's my private time, meditate and pray. And then, of course, it's time for them to go to school, get them ready, all of that. And once they go, that's my me time to get work done, send in proposals, write whatever. If I have training programs I need to do, I do all of that. I have a help at home you know, she's not full-time, but she comes and goes. So when I have to go out, she's at home.
Yeah.
You know, I have that support system. And then once they come back, if I still have work to do, we will all find a way to work around it together. So either they have their workstations as well. I have my workstation. We all sit down. You're sitting down there, you can see. Because, you know, one thing about children is they are soaking you in. They really do what you do, not what you say. So you can be saying, oh, you have to have a routine, you have to have a structure, go and study, go and this. If all they see you do when you wake up is pick up your phone, lounge, and they would pick it, no matter how you are saying. Do you understand? So even you have to discipline yourself to be able to imbibe, you know, good habits for your children to be able to imbibe good habits. So yeah, so if I still have work to do, we come, we do everything together. And then evenings, I work out, I do yoga, I do yoga. So
very much active in that.
Yes, very, very. I don't play with it. I don't play with that.
See all of those.
Yeah, and then once it's 7, 8, wind down. I have an accountability group of women where we check in, you know, just exchange notes. So how was your day? What did you achieve? What were you able to? And all of that, just like reviewing your day. And then I just started journaling. Journaling is a fantastic. It helps. It's like reviewing. At the end of the day, you look and like, what have I achieved today? Ask yourself some questions, important questions, so that the next day, either you're carrying over or you are trying to improve on certain things that you were not able to achieve the day before. And that's basically it.
Do you know that in the space of, let's say you have 18 hours during the day, right?
Right.
You've been able to, I've counted like 5 things you do.
Right.
Do you understand? And that's because you've been able to segment.
Yes, segment.
You've been able to highlight and identify, as opposed to being clustering around and moving, and you're not achieving anything at the end of the day.
Because sometimes you can be very busy.
And you're not productive.
You're busy and you're like, what have I achieved? I just wanted to chip this in. One very important thing that I've also learned that a lot of women have to learn is the ability to say no. The ability to say no. Because especially when you're so like when you have your priorities, when you set your day, especially when you're working from home, it's very easy to, somebody calls, yeah, I should be at home, let's go and hang out. You know, people just come in to try and take over your day. Parents, sometimes, even children, friends. Sometimes you have to, every time, if it's not in line with the goals that you want to achieve for that day, you should be able to politely say no. I think that's very, that comes in really handy. Comes in really handy. So this year, just like I said earlier, our plan is to perform optimally and to be our very best. Yeah.
To be our very best.
Awesome.
Everybody's saying it's a me season. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do well for myself. I need to ace all my plans and my goals and my objectives in life and all of those things. So in terms of capacity building, so how does Mompreneur help women to achieve all of these things? Right.
So just generally, I say through education. Education in terms of we have online courses, we have training programs, we have things like that. Through advocacy. Advocacy in terms of awareness. So like I shot a film last year. I cannot wait to share it with the world. Yes. Okay. So telling stories. So there was something you said earlier, which I took note of, where you were saying you need to see where you want to be, right? Yeah. I know it sounds cliche. A lot of people say, oh, if you can see it, you can achieve it. It sounds like, oh, they're always saying it, motivational speakers, they come, but it's just the truth. If you cannot see something, you don't know how, your mind can't fathom it. It can't happen for you, right? So advocacy and awareness is like putting things out there, like what you're doing now, talking to women who have been able to achieve what people are trying to achieve, just putting the word out there to make people know that these things are possible. It's possible. Changing the narrative.
Don't cry yourself out.
Having the difficult conversations to say, it's not compulsory for you to have children if you don't want to have children. Hello? It's not compulsory for you to get married if you don't want to get married. Hello?
I'm still going to talk about that.
Yes, those are hard things.
I'm still going to talk about
because
that. Especially not getting married. I'm not, please don't quote me anymore.
Before your mother will call you for deliverance now. It's not me that said it. I'm not there.
But I mean, those are actual conversations.
Yes, those are things. Are you really living your life for you? Or are you living it because this is what they said? This is how they said. And you've not seen
based on societal demands.
Based on societal demands. And you're putting yourself under pressure. You understand? So, like I said, education, advocacy, networking. So we have events. We host events regularly, hangouts and meetups where we come, interact. I realize that a lot of women don't get to go out. That's why once they start having children like this, that's the end.
I was going to talk about that. So let's just talk
okay,
about
let's leave
that.
it there. Okay, let's talk about that.
Let's just talk
Fine.
about that
right.
immediately.
Yeah.
Babies management strategy. I've called it. I don't know if there's anything that exists.
That sounds so serious.
Yes, exactly. I don't know if it exists, but I mean, there has to be like ways.
Yes.
That you are handling it very well.
So one of the things we do at Mompreneur events, most of the hangouts, we always have on-site crèche services. Most of the events we've had. So we say, you know what? I know that your excuse would be, there's nobody to drop the child with. There's nobody, bring the baby.
Do you know what? There was a woman that was supposed to travel to Abuja for a program that was going to change her life.
Wow.
But because
there's nobody to babysit.
Exactly. She just said no. She just gave it up, and like that was just the end.
You see, that's one of the issues, right? So one of the because of COVID, we didn't have a lot of events during the, but one of the major ones we had before COVID hit was about building support systems. Yeah. We teach women how to be, you have to have a support system. Many women are so, me, it's only me that has to do it. Nobody can talk. We don't trust. But if you don't trust, you're just going to kill yourself. Gone are the days, they say it takes a society to raise children. And that is the truth. It takes a village. That's the beauty of even being in Nigeria. This is not, we can't lose that communal type of living. Yes. So you have to have a support system. There was a time I had to go for an interview in Port Harcourt. And then my son was about 6 months or so. My sister followed me. She was available during that period and we went together, right? So there are just ways to work around these things. Many of us just don't shut down and think, oh no, it's impossible. Where would I put my baby? Well, no, find a way. This is where that excuse thing comes in. Crush the excuse and just do it. I finished my MBA shortly after I had my first child and I had a C-section. My mother-in-law had already told me, no, you can't go back to school. You have to defer. And my mom said, which kind? Do you waiting? It never gets easy. Shana, you think it never gets, and I'm so grateful to her till tomorrow that she made me, because she took time. She was still in active service at the time. She took a leave and used to follow me all the way to, I did it at Lagos Business School. She used to follow me and she would stay with the baby. I would be in class till I finished. You know, so support systems are just very, very important. We cannot, discard those.
On a final note, let's talk about what Mompreneur is all about this year. So what are the plans? What do we have for mothers? What do we have for women? What do you have for? Do you even have programs for singles? I mean, we're women.
I know the singles are always attacking me.
What do we have?
Do you know what I always say? But you know what I always say? I always say that whether you are a biological mother or not, every woman is a caregiver. Like I said, you see, firstborn, you are taking care of your parents, taking care of your. We are just, that instinct is there, right? So we have that. That responsibility to care for people. So I think it applies to everybody. I mean, I have a couple of single ladies in our forums who attend our events and stuff, and they get value as well. Do you understand? But of course, because of branding, from a branding standpoint, my niche is mothers, because I speak to them, I understand them, I'm a mother myself, I've been there, there's nothing they can say. Any excuse you want to bring it. I will crush it for you if you don't know how to crush it, you understand? So this year we have a lot lined up. I just concluded my calendar. We're going to be having our meetups. Thank God the world is opening up again. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So of course, we started with the 21-day challenge, which we're doing currently, an accountability group where we're all reading James Clear's Atomic Habits together, and we're trying to build habits, and we check in, and after that, for International Women's Day, I'm going to be having a movie premiere. A movie that I shot last year.
Am I invited?
Yes, you are. Please, take this as your invite now.
Thank
so we're working on that, and then of course there will be the meetups and then training programs for grassroots women and for
I love that. I'm always concerned about grassroots women. I'm serious.
A lot of work. I was at a training last week.
I'm always concerned about
I was at a training last week in Ijora, and I had to deliver the training in Yoruba. It was quite but we did it.
I know.
Yeah, we did it. So we do whatever we have to do to make sure that no one is left behind and everybody is, advancing and getting empowered and improving.
Lastly, because this is the second time I'm saying lastly.
I know, right? Okay, so the final note.
Yes.
Okay.
What's your advice for mothers this year? How would you speak to them to live their dreams this year, not holding back anything?
Guard your thoughts, diligently, because out of your thoughts come the issues of life. So it all starts from your thoughts. be deliberate and be intentional about your thoughts. Okay? It starts from there, and that's how you can conquer and achieve. You can achieve anything, absolutely anything. The only limitation you have is in your mind and in your thoughts. So if you control your thoughts using affirmations, whatever tools are available, you can achieve whatever. And that's my top advice for mothers and women generally this year.
Thank you very much. I mean, you summed up all I have to say. I mean, I think one take home for me, just like I've said, would be the fact that your mindset is your major.
Absolutely.
Is your major tool.
If you can shift your mindset.
Yes, so if you can shift your mindset, definitely you can't do anything. You won't be able to do anything. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It was such a great conversation. I enjoyed myself. So relaxing. I hope when next I call you, you'll be willing to come.
We'll see about that. I'll send you an invoice.
Nah, so. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And on that note, we end today's episode of the Women's Series. Thank you for joining me. I hope you got value. I hope you learned one or two things, just like I did. I'm taking back home, having a good mindset, and my thoughts are very much powerful. And having an accountability partner, I think you should think about that this year. Have an accountability partner. More importantly, you should actually link up with Mompreneur. That would be a great thing. That's like a that's a great network of women where you can have accountability partner. That's it, where you can get all of those things and support that you need. Thank you very much. If you've got questions or comments, kindly send a mail to ayomide.oguntoye@appreciate.com. Follow us on all our social media platforms showing on the screen. And until next week, thank you for watching.